Hello everyone, welcome back for another Star Trek, the official Starships collection review. I have in front of me issue 138, the U.S.S. Lantree NCC-1837 as seen in the episode, I think, Unnatural Selection, Season 2 of Star Trek The Next Generation. I've had this ship for about 3 weeks now, so I'm sorry for the delay in getting it to you, but nevertheless, here I am. And of course, I have a magazine here with a nice view of the ship there and the ship itself. So for a moment, I'll put this aside and let's dive right into this. So you can see there that the image that they show pretty much, I think, is the same image that they've used on the other Miranda class variant ships that we've gotten throughout the course of the collection so far, maybe with some minor differences. But of course, this is the Lantree, an all new, or rather all different ship of the Miranda class. So yeah, it is again considered Miranda, launched in the 23rd century, a crew of only 26, and is 243 meters long. And you turn the page and the format is pretty much the same as every other magazine. You have a little bit more specification here, and it shows you how to attach the model to the stand that is included. Okay, it has a crew of 26. It can go as fast as warp 9.2 and has phaser emitters and photon torpedoes. And here's another view of the vessel as well as some text. Mostly just stuff from the episode because most Mirandas have the same, for the most part, same layout and whatnot. And more on the Lantree's mission and what happened to its crew, etc., etc. And here's the centerfold page, showing you where everything is and the various components, as well as some trivia down there on the far right, that is. And here's the section on the creation of the U.S.S. Lantree, which is basically a redress of the Reliant model, which was probably redressed a dozen times throughout the course of the original 6 movies and the Next Generation, and Deep Space Nine for a couple of episodes. But yeah, that model's been around for a while, in various guises, with the roll bar removed. I mean, from the Saratoga, Star Trek 4, to the there was some other Miranda class in Space Dock in Star Trek 4, which also I think could have been the Saratoga that hadn't been towed in. There's of course, the Lantree. There's the Bozeman. There's the other Saratoga that Cisco served on that was destroyed by the Borg at Wolf 359. And there are a few others as well. So this talks about the redressing and renaming of the model as usual. And here's a section on Season 2 of The Next Generation, when things started to get better and become into the TNG format that everybody loves. And more on that. And of course, more on that. And finally, the on-screen appearance page, which, as I said, was in Unnatural Selection. And of course, the ship was designed by Joe Jennings, Mike Miner, and Lee Cole. And of course, a little trivia about Chief O'Brien there before he went to DS9 much later. And some more trivia down there about Dr. Pulaski. And also, along with this ship I got last time was the Valdewar fighter from Star Trek Voyager, so that ought to be cool to show you in a bit. And the magazine concludes with another image of the ship there. So, not a bad issue. And now I'm going to jump right into the ship itself. All right, so here it is, the U.S.S. Lantree. Not bad. For the most part, I've liked and or loved all of the Miranda classes or variants that we've gotten. You know, I do have to say that this is probably the most plain out of all of them. There's no roll bar, no extra sensory equipment, no extra weapons, no extra anything. It's just the primary hull and the warp nacelles. And I do want to point out that the warp nacelles are for the most part correct. That is, the grills there are black or a very dark blue hue, just like the films and just like the episodes, of course. But of course, the front of the nacelle is actually not painted in or anything like that, which I don't understand why Eaglemoss can't keep the consistency with every ship or every model that shares the same type of warp nacelle design as this. Again, from the original Enterprise refit to the Enterprise A, to the Reliant, to the Saratoga, to the Stargazer, to the Jenolan, to the Bozeman, you know, and now this, and on and onwards. They seem to have gotten them right on the XL version, that is the Reliant XL and the Enterprise A look fantastic warp nacelle wise. So I don't know why that wasn't replicated here. The mold though of the nacelle does feature that inner and outward grooves there. You can kind of see it. It just wasn't painted in black. I suppose I could take a fine tip marker or something and get in there, but I know I'm going to mess it up, so I'm not even going to bother. It's a pretty neat model, I guess. Pretty plain. As you can see on the top there, you can see the font is nice and crisp. U.S.S. Lantree NCC-1837. And on the bottom of the ship, you can see the registry repeated there, NCC-1837, as well as U.S.S. Lantree down there. There's a lot of little detail back here. Pretty good Aztecing. You have Starfleet pendants here, which I'm going to assume are the phasers. And you have your Starfleet pendant right here on the nacelle struts. And it does say in fine print USS or Starship U.S.S. Lantree NCC-1837. And the registry number and information is also on the outer and inner parts of the warp nacelle. And it just says NCC-1837 along with the United Federation of Planets. The back of the rear of the ship, again, is pretty standard, just like the other ones. It has a shuttle bay 1 and 2, or a cargo bay 1 and 2, depending on how, you know, what the mission profile was of the ship. Yeah, I don't have any particular errors with this. I'm happy. I mean, I've always liked these Miranda class ships. Quite honestly, though, I mean, as much as I love the Lantree, I would have liked to have seen maybe the U.S.S. SeaTac or the Majestic. That was from the Sacrifice of Angels on Deep Space Nine, because that's probably one of my favorite episodes of that series. But nevertheless, I'm happy with this, and if we never get another Miranda class variant or Miranda class, that's okay, because we have quite a few already. If you're a Next Gen fan, definitely pick this up. If you love this class of ship, pick it up. If you're just happy with the Reliant or any of the other ones, this might be a waste of time because there's nothing new here to report. In fact, this one is the most basic and plain of them all in terms of not having a roll bar or no sensor pods on the side, or no extra things like the Bozeman had, or no extra anything under their dome or anything. This is just the hull, the nacelles, and that's it. So pretty cool. I love all my Starfleet ships, and so yeah, that is the U.S.S. Lantree. Fits in your hand about that much. Of course, almost the entirety of the primary hull is metal. That is on the top, and on the bottom it's pretty plastic, as well as the nacelles themselves. Now you have to be careful because these things can break off, and once they break off, like if this thing just snaps in half, that's not a good thing. But you can kind of see the separation line there. It's not a crack or anything. It's just that's where they plop this this piece in. So be careful removing it out of the package. I was fortunate that mine didn't arrive in pieces, and I was kind of dreading it. But it arrived okay, and all is well. So yeah, that is the USS Lantree NCC-1837, Xenon Next Generation, an Unnatural Selection. So if you haven't seen the episode, please check it out. For now, I'm going to be quiet and show you what the model looks like on the stand. Hopefully it holds it better than the other Miranda classes. And until next time, live long and prosper, and see you guys next time.